Good afternoon and happy Sunday to all of your sunshiny faces. So guys, today, I thought Matthew was going home today because well, it's kind of a long story. Like, his girlfriend ended up taking him home on Friday, although my mom was going to pick him up and then take him home on Monday. But since his girlfriend took her car to campus, she was just like, oh, I'll take you home on Friday. And so she ended up coming home with Matthew on Friday. And then Matthew was like, oh, well, since she's going back, I'll just go with her. So, and they were actually, I think, going to leave tomorrow on Monday. Then, her dad ended up getting into a car accident, and so I think they need, like, her car as an extra car, until they can get it fixed or whatever. So then her mom was going to take them back today, but then ended up actually not taking them back. So we were thinking, and then on top of that too, Matthew was having a problem too with one of his classes. I think his math class, like, there isn't room in any of the math classes that he's supposed to be taking left. And so he wanted to go back today also, since her mom was going to take her, and Matthew was going to go with them because he needed to sign up for a class and he had today left to do it. And then he couldn't do it tomorrow because the school, like, office is closed. I was thinking the school office would be closed, like, over the weekend too, but his argument was that it was not. It was only closed on Monday. I don't know if that's true or not. But he was going to go back today, and then he ended up signing up, I guess, for just, like, a different class so that he can remain as a full-time student, because if he didn't end up at least taking, I think, like, so many credit hours, then he isn't considered as a full-time student, like part-time student, I guess he would be, and I don't know if that means he qualifies for different things or whatever. So he still had to take one extra class, and since he couldn't take his math class, he, I think, just signed up for a different class. So I don't know what ended up happening, but I think it ended up working out. So he signed up for it today, and I guess, yeah. So, and the reason he was in a different math class, but he ended up, I don't even know, because he was in a math class, but then his psychology class or something like that, I think he said they were, like, within 15 minutes apart, and he said he wasn't going to be able to get from one class to the other in that amount of time. He was like, if he got out of the class at perfect timing and was able to, like, haul all the way to where he needed to get to his next class, he might be able to make it on time, but he was like, it's just cutting it too close. And so I don't know though how he ended up not being able to stay in the math class that he was in and just switch, like, his psychology class, or I don't know which class, something like that he was taking. So long story short, he ended up, I guess, getting everything taken care of, but it was really confusing, and he, I thought, was going back home today, or back on campus today, but he ended up staying for another night, which was the plan all along, but then ended up changing. And so we ended up actually going out for late lunch, early dinner tonight at like 4 o'clock. We were gonna go for breakfast tomorrow, I think, which I don't know if we're still doing or not, but that ended up changing when he found out that he was possibly going back today. So we ended up going out for dinner tonight. We were gonna grill, but we ended up going out for dinner tonight, and I guess we're gonna grill tomorrow. So we're gonna do hamburgers tomorrow and some other, I have extra corn because I did 3 ears of corn yesterday, and I'm gonna do another 3 tomorrow because it's they were like 6 for 88 cents, which is a pretty good price for corn. So, no, we weren't going to eat all 6 in one day, so I was like, I'll just make 3 today and then 3 tomorrow. And then I have some extra stuff too. We got potato salad, macaroni salad, and stuff like that, kind of just for like a grilling weekend. But today was actually surprising because it did storm like last night, and it seemed like it was like kind of cloudy and like a little drizzly today. It was sunny for most of the day though. It's supposed to rain all weekend, and we got kind of a break today, but then tomorrow I saw on the weather it looks like it's supposed to be like really bad, just like thunderstorms all day tomorrow, which kind of stinks. So we can't really enjoy any time outside, and it also stinks because Jack didn't mow the back lawn like I told him to today, which I'm really frustrated about because he was supposed to do the front and the back lawn yesterday. He ended up just doing the front lawn. I was like, okay, well, you have to do the back lawn today. Once we got back from dinner, he was like, I'm too tired, I don't want to do it now. So I was like, really? So, okay, well, you know, if you're pushing the lawnmower out there in the rain, I don't care. Tomorrow, you know, so I don't know, he's gonna have to figure that out because that grass is tall in the backyard. And the thing that stinks is that, like, the front yard was just mowed, and so the backyard isn't mowed, like, at the same time. So now, like, I like to have them both mowed at the same time so they both look nice, and they both need to be mowed at the same time. Jack missed, like, tons and tons of, like, all the way up to the front yard, there's, like, he didn't get, and I'm frustrated because it's not totally grass there. There's some weeds, and so he just decided not to do it. And I was like, no, you need to go over that whole area. Or there's, like, patches of, like, crabgrass and stuff like that. And so I'm getting really frustrated that he has not been taking care of his job efficiently. Yeah, guys. But I ended up actually finishing the laundry because I did 2 loads today because I thought Matthew had to get back to school today. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, as soon as we got back from dinner, I ended up throwing the last load in the dryer. And luckily, I was like, yes, it's 6:30 and the laundry's done. I was like, Matthew's got enough time to get all his stuff bundled up and then head back to school. And he didn't actually need it done for tonight. So I was like, okay, at least it's done ahead of time then. So I did finish all of this weekend's laundry all in one day, which Matthew's not going to be home next weekend because he wants to stay at school because of there's going to be a home football game, which I was like, well, we could always go too. But the following week is family week. It's also the high school's homecoming. So Friday night, Matthew's going to come home, which homecoming is like, honestly, it's like all the alumni comes and stuff like that, and, you know, that kind of stuff. So, and like the year prior's graduates go and pick up their yearbook. So, like, a lot of the kids from, like, the year before that graduated are always there. Me, I was there the year after I graduated and forgot to pick up my yearbook. So I never got my senior yearbook, which really stinks because they're not cheap and I paid for it. And I'm really upset that I never got it. I got my junior year one because they give it to you, like, that following year. Our school's really weird. I don't know if it's the same with, like, all of them and it takes that long to print or what. But, like, in middle school and elementary school, we always got our yearbooks before the end of the school year so that, you know, you can get everybody to sign your yearbook and stuff like that. In high school, they give it to you the following year. So if you're not a student that's coming back, like your senior that graduated, or if you're a student that's transferring to another school, like, they never mailed me mine. Like, you have to go and pick it up and stuff like that. And it's like, who remembers or who has the time and stuff like that to go and do that? So that kind of stunk. But yeah, so I don't know if Matthew ordered his, and if he did, he has to go pick it up. Current and past students and stuff like that, everybody comes back together. So yeah, so Matthew was like, well, I really want to be there for the Friday one, but then it's family weekend, I think, or parents weekend or something like that weekend at his college. So the Saturday afternoon they have the football game at home as well, so then we're gonna go to that. So yeah, it'll be like 2 weeks that we don't see Matthew, and he will only be home for like one night, Friday night into Saturday, and then Saturday we're all leaving, going back to his campus, and then he's probably staying there. I don't even know I don't know how late it's going to be, the football game, but I think it starts at 6:30, so I don't know how late that would end up going, but we'll probably just wind up going home because it's only like less than a half-hour drive to get back home. So yeah, these dogs are behaving like crazy little crazies. Yeah. Oh, and then also, guys, too, I did figure out something to do with this for right now, because I didn't really have anything else that I could figure out that I wanted to hang on this bulletin board. You guys, I showed you guys all my jewelry and everything like that over there, but over on this one I couldn't figure anything out, and then I was like, oh yeah, I got my which is reflecting like horrible over here. I've got my calendar, which is the Thomas Kincaid Disney calendar. September is Pirates of the Caribbean, so yeah, guys, and then my birthday month in November is Beauty and the Beast. Isn't that one so pretty, guys? I love it. So I figured out that was what I was going to do over here just for right now. I don't know if I eventually want to move my calendar and put it somewhere else, but as of right now, I don't know what to hang on my little bulletin board. So I actually put this here because I used to have this on my bulletin board before I painted my room and stuff like that, and that was just a sticky note that I wrote to myself. I might honestly do that, just put little reminders and things like that, stuff that I know is going on up here. And honestly, guys, too, this blue is pretty close, not exact, but it's pretty close to that color blue. So I actually like using those colored post-it notes for this bulletin board. I think it'll look really like cool and kind of like colored themed and stuff like that and tie the whole room. And so yeah, and then my little dream catcher that's up there just because it's a keychain, but I don't like it, like, I don't know, the feathers are so fine on it that I don't want to use it. Like, I don't want to have it, you know, in my purse and stuff like that, or on my purse or anything, because I don't want it to, like, get ruined. But I actually got it when I was in Canada, and so I was like, I want to hold on to this. And like, it's so stinking pretty though. Just like cute little dream catcher, what's it called, keychain. So I don't know where else to put it, and it's something that's like so small, I don't want to just like hang it up on the wall. So I was like, I'll just put it on my bulletin board. So yeah, that's my little cutie little thing. But like I said, I don't know what else to put on there other than my calendar right now. So I have to either figure out if I'm going to keep my calendar there, if I'm going to move it, anything else that I might want to put on that bulletin board. Like before, I used to just have like literally random little things. I used to have like just little decoration thingies hanging off of there. And so now though, I really do like that I actually used it for keeping like little notes and things like that. So I might write down notes like, oh, homecoming game is on this day, and you know, family weekend, and like this is kind of the plan of what's going on and stuff like that, because then that kind of helps me remember like, oh yeah, don't forget this is what's going on, that's what's going on, because I got so many things bouncing around in my head, guys. It's like I can never remember. But if I see this, especially like at night before I go to bed or in the morning when I wake up, I can remind myself like, okay, you know, that's happening that day, and then I can look on my calendar and be like, okay, that's actually that day. So yeah, because I do use my planner, but sometimes it's not always something, like I like to like write little things down that I need to do, and sometimes I'm not, like, I'll look at that for like that day. I might not look ahead for the end of the week or the prior week or something like that, you know, because you only have like 7 days on a planner for the most part. At least mine is a 7-day planner, and so I'm only looking like what's going on this week. So if there's something that's going on next week, or like, you know, maybe the following weekend or something like that, I might not know what's going on and not be paying attention to it and being like, oh yeah, that's actually supposed to happen. And sometimes I only focus on like that day. If I'm like, okay, today's Monday or whatever, I'm looking just on Monday's day and not looking ahead into the week and trying to be like, okay, yeah, mentally prepare. I need to make sure that we know we're doing this, or I need to, you know, is there anything else that I might need to do that, or you know, get that done or something like that. Because there's something else too that ended up coming up, and I was like, oh shoot, like I should have gotten that stuff together earlier. Like I actually did write down send in mail and rebate. I was telling you guys about my Menards rebate. That was one of the things that I wrote down up there. I was like, make sure I send in the Menards rebate by Thursday, this past Thursday. And so since I actually wrote it down, I reminded myself to do it, and it needed to be done by Saturday, but I ended up doing it on Thursday because I wrote myself a little note to try and make sure it got done by Thursday. And so like those are kind of like prepare and plan ahead things that I need to remind myself to do maybe earlier, or if it's like I need to get something together or something like that ahead of time, that I know I'm starting to get the stuff together, or at least trying to figure out where it is. So yeah, that's just my other little bulletin board. But like I said, I kind of got to figure out some other stuff. I don't really want to use it as a decorative bulletin board. I want to use it as like a functional bulletin board of like things that I actually need to put on there, stuff like that. But right now I can't figure out what kind of stuff I need to put on my bulletin board, other than maybe just little post-it note thingies to myself that's like, oh, don't forget to do this or whatever. But yeah, we'll see. But I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give it a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, I'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.